Hi everyone, my name is Emma Richards and as Colin said I'm the Business Development and Proposals Manager at BTL, which just means that I help them respond to bids and proposals, but it also means that I work with some of our new and prospective customers, helping them to understand how our Surpass assessment solution can meet the needs of their business. So I'm pleased to be joined today by Robert Burns from ICAS, who's going to speak in a little while about how ICAS came to use Surpass and what some of their plans are with it. But before that, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about BTL, who we are and what Surpass is. Those of you who were here yesterday will, I think, have seen our chairman, Dr. Bob Gomersall's keynote speech in the morning. He founded BTL in 1985, so we've been around a little bit over 30 years now. We've actually come quite a long way since then. So we now work with some really impressive organisations. So we've got professional awarding bodies, certification bodies, and also academic institutions as well. We're really proud of the relationships that we've got with these organisations. We've worked with some of them for a long time now. It's great to see some here today, actually. But it's really because of them that Surpass is where it is today. It's their knowledge, their expertise that's helped us shape it and get to where we are. Which is here. So we're now at 16 million exams delivered through Surpass, and I think that grows by millions each year. So thanks. So there's some of the statistics here, I'll let you read those, I won't go through them all. But there's just a couple that I wanted to point out. So obviously Surpass is delivering into a lot of test centres through all of our partners. So we've got Surpass exams being delivered in almost 25,000 test centres now. But we also operate our own test centre network service. So we've got the 150 BTL audited test centres. And then actually what I wanted to point out was the paper assessments that have been created in Surpass. Just because being here over the last 2 days, I've met a lot of people that are sort of at the start of that journey. They look at their paper processes and they're looking at maybe moving to on screen and how do they do that. So it was really just to say that in Surpass you can sort of bridge that gap. You can do both together for as long as you need to. So it's not just a case of transitioning. We know that sometimes you need to keep those paper exams for some scenarios where on screen just won't work, or some locations where on screen just won't work. Okay, so just a little bit more detail about what Surpass is for those of you who don't know it very well. So Surpass is an end-to-end assessment platform. So it starts with your item authoring and your bank management, and then through into your test construction and delivery. So we can deliver across a range of devices, iPads, PCs or the tablets, paper of course, laptops. And the good thing about Surpass is that you can gather all of that data from all those delivery methods in one place. You only have to author your item once. You can deliver it out to all the different delivery methods. It just means that when everyone comes back in, all your results are in, they go back into one box and stored nicely together. So with Surpass, obviously, we develop a lot of new features. We're really proud of some of those features, but we always have to make sure that we can deliver the feature without compromising on usability. We have a great design team, but it's just about meeting the needs of the industry without compromising on the needs of the candidate. So with that in mind, I was just going to talk about one particular feature. So this is a new thing that we've released in our latest version of Surpass. So it's a high fidelity image viewer, and it just lets candidates look through one or more sets of images without compromising on the quality of the image. So obviously you can see in this scenario it's more of a medical base, but I think there's an application in lots of different industries there. Sorry if anyone's squeamish. That's not anyone I know with screws in their hand. It's certainly known at BTL. So actually we were really lucky, I should probably mention, at the ATP conference earlier this month. The image viewer actually won the Judges Success Award as part of the Innovations Lab, so that was great, but I should probably point out that those awards are definitely not as good as the assessment awards. So obviously great to be here at the conference. Every year we have a conference, changes location every year. This year it's our 10th anniversary, so we're bringing it home to our home county of Yorkshire. So this past conference is in October, and it's really just about bringing together all of our customers and all of our partners and letting them hear from each other. So it's great when you have this kind of environment and you can hear the challenges, the benefits, you know, all those judgments that you want to make every day, just share those with each other. So that's a great opportunity for people to get together, so we just wanted to mention it. That is it from me, and we'll get to the next slide. So I just did a little bit of background. I'll hand over to Robert from ICAS, so that's the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Scotland, to talk a little bit about how they came to use Surpass and where they have it.
Thank you very much. This feels really presidential, but I've been told not to do any Donald Trump jokes, so I will avoid them. As Emma alluded to, she's asked me to come along and just spend a short time explaining the journey that we have gone through in selecting and reviewing the various different platforms that were available to us. We are fairly new to the BTL family, and we're actually fairly new to eAssessment in general, and spending time over the last 2 days with the people at this conference has been really helpful for us. It's helped us to realise that everyone else has shared the same kind of challenges and the same kind of issues and the dilemmas that we've faced, and we haven't felt quite so isolated and quite so much like the last kitten to be left in the pet shop window. So it's been really very helpful and indeed, and sometimes quite cathartic, so thank you. As I sat yesterday and indeed today listening to all the other presenters, I began to feel increasingly inadequate as they've gone on the premise that I don't really have very many colourful slides or any colourful stories. So I'm afraid I've got very few sexy slides and even fewer good jokes, but I'm consoling myself on the premise that it's almost home time and you're probably happier if I'm brief than sexy, and that's exactly what I'm going to aim for. Bob spoke yesterday about a general reluctance within our industry to accept or to embrace change and to adopt technology, and we probably fell into that category up until not too long ago, to be honest. We've got processes in place that are robust and are secure and they're tried and tested and they work. And in all honesty, if something works and it works well and it does what you need them to do, then it's actually quite difficult to try and push for change and to be a champion for change. However, over the last 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years, we've seen some dramatic changes in the industry that we live and work in. Our customers are looking for much more flexible solutions, and our students are of a generation which technology is what they know. Over the last few days, we've heard a lot about digital natives, and that's exactly what our students are. They're familiar with tech, they use tech all the time, and they look at a pen as something that's a relic that only an old man like me would ever want to use, so they are of a completely different generation to certainly to me. So our world is evolving really very rapidly, and we had the choice to evolve with it and to embrace the change, or to risk being left behind, quite honestly. Most of our clients, in fact all of our clients, are looking now for a much more flexible service delivery model, something that gives them what they need, gives the students what they need. And I think that actually gives us a fantastic opportunity, a really, really exciting opportunity to bring about that change and to make the service offering that we have better. And I think in my better moments, of which I still have a couple, that's actually a really, really exciting opportunity. But then equally at times, it can be quite daunting. Many of the systems that we had were getting tired. They weren't the newest systems, and they were, in some occasions, blocking the kind of service that we wanted to be able to deliver to our students. And so with the support of our boards and our members, we're now embarking on the really sexually named digital transformation program, which I think actually is just marketing speak for getting better systems in. Now, I'm really not very good at jargon or buzzwords, and when I hear people debate the relative merits of agile versus waterfall, I really tend to glaze over. But what I'm really, really passionate about is service, and whatever name or whatever tag we give to the program that helps us to deliver that, I think it's a fantastic opportunity to improve our service, to improve the experience of our customers. And I've been really conscious in the last couple of days that customers isn't really a phrase that we use a lot in this kind of environment, and it's probably something that I brought from my previous lives. But fundamentally, the people who we teach, the people who we examine, are paying us money, and in some cases large sums of money to be trained by us and to be examined by us. And I really do see them as customers, and I want to make sure that what we do is we give them the service that they deserve, and that we make the experience the best that we can possibly make it. So in terms of the decision process, what is important to us is actually building an infrastructure which is as future-proof as we can possibly make it. And I know that none of us know what the future holds, and in fact we've all spent the last couple of days trying to predict what the future might hold, and one of us might be right. But what I wanted was something that will allow us to meet the demands of our customers, not only today, but also what it might be tomorrow or next week or next month as their demands continue to evolve, and as the students that we serve continue to evolve. So we carried out really extensive research before we started this project off into the marketplace. And in fact, that's probably a massive understatement. We spoke to everyone that we could possibly speak to. We spoke to providers from pretty much every corner of the globe, and we had conference calls and video conferences with people from all different parts of the world at all times of the day and night. One of them, I think, from memory, I even did in my pyjamas, but that was a phone call and not a video call, so it's not on YouTube. We undertook a really detailed scoping process, which involved all the stakeholders that we had in the business, and that was really important, because what that showed us from the very beginning was that the needs and the desires and the demands of the operations team, of the IT team, of the academics were actually all really very different. And it wasn't until we sat down and went through the exercise to always draw up what our perfect scenario was and what we all wanted, that we realised that our needs and desires were quite different. And what that allowed us to do was to set off in the project with a very clear vision in our heads of what success would actually look like. And I think without that, at the beginning of the process, it may have taken us much longer to get where we eventually got. We then created a small project team of operational, IT and academic staff who would conduct the formal review and selection process. Oh, and there was an accountant to keep track of the money. What was also quite important to us was understanding that this is part of a much wider IT project within the business, and we had to understand where our IT team were looking to go in terms of their infrastructure, so that we could work out what their good looked like, what our restraints might have been, what the considerations had to be. And again, I think if we hadn't done that at the very beginning, we might have ended up in a place that we had to unwind or unpick at the end. So I guess the one message that I would put through these first 3 or 4 bullet points is simply that it took us a long time, and I think Emma and her team and everyone that we spoke to probably got really frustrated by us and how uncertain we often seemed to be. But we felt it was really important. By our standards, this was a very big spend, it was a big commitment, and we wanted this to be a platform for the future. And I really honestly think if we hadn't done the work up front, we may well have lived to regret it at the end. So having done all our research, we went through the science bit, which was the RFI process, the RFP process, which you would expect. And again, what we tried to do was engage as many of the stakeholders as we possibly could throughout the process. I was really keen to try and make sure that as we got through this process, no one felt that they hadn't been listened to, no one felt that their points weren't being taken on board, no one felt excluded from the process, because I really wanted to get to the end of it with everyone thinking that they contributed and that they had actually made the decision, so that all of us went into it with exactly the same idea in mind and all having felt that we contributed equally. And again, for anyone who's going through the process, I think it's really important to make sure that all of the stakeholders feel involved and not excluded from the process. And as you'd expect, we have lots of accountants, so we had millions of boxes to tick, and we came up with the most complex, arduous scoring process ever known to man, and one indeed which I think Stephen Hawking would probably have been really quite proud of if he invented it himself. But before we got into the process, we analysed every single vendor that we saw, and we put them through that scoring process to make sure that what we had at the end of it was a very objective and a very measured process, to make sure that we got the best possible fit. So, having gone through all that, why did we pick BTL? I guess as everyone in this room knows much better than me, this is a hugely competitive marketplace, and there are some really, really talented people in it who are doing absolutely brilliant things, and indeed many of them are in this room. So it was a really challenging exercise for us. I think what was important to me was getting a partner who shared the passion that I had, and I hope that my team have, for delivering service, and who kind of shared the desire that we had for being the best that we can be, who could help us to deliver the experience that I really want to give every single one of our students who walks through our door or who joins us via a web link or whatever they do. So throughout the process, we were really impressed by the depth of experience that BTL had within the marketplace, the range of clients that they had, their expertise, and just the knowledge and the capability that they were able to offer us. And being fairly new to the process, that was hugely valuable. We also had a robust, tried and tested platform. The feedback that we got from everyone that we spoke to was really positive. The system worked. We know that it worked, which meant, from our perspective, as a relatively newcomer to the operation, there wasn't much of a risk there. And when you're delivering high-stakes exam, the last thing we wanted to do was to bring in an element of risk that we didn't have to. I didn't think for a second you'd ever have to show me that. Our IT team were also really impressed by the ease with which the system would integrate with their infrastructure, and all the APIs and the REST APIs and all those things that I know about but don't really understand. They were very, very impressed by. Fantastic test centre network all across the country. We don't necessarily run huge volumes of exams, but we do run them in almost every large town and city across the country. And having a test centre network that was accessible to us was really important. Equally, for me, and I think for all of our team, what BTL offered us pretty much instantly was the opportunity to expand all the eAssessment to every one of our types of exams. We have a multitude of different types of assessment and engagement and learning, and the BTL platform gives us the opportunity in the short term to move every single one of our learning types onto that platform. We had really positive feedback from everyone that we spoke to, and we spoke to a lot of people, users, clients, test centres, students. Everyone gave us really positive feedback, which was hugely important to us. And also it gave us the opportunity to engage with a really wide range of other users. And as I've said a few times, we are very new to this, we understand we're new to it, and to share experiences and to share the learning that the other people have gone through is of real value to us. And then finally, with people. Before I do this bit, I just want to be clear that I'm not on the BTL payroll, and all that I've ever had from them is a canvas bag and a pretty snazzy plastic pen. And I think more are available in reception. But I'm really old, almost as old as time itself, and all the things that I've said previously are all really true and really valid about why we made the decisions we made, and I'm sure that they're all the right reasons. But I am old enough to still think that people buy from people, and I really do value personal relationships, probably above anything else. And from the beginning of the process and all the way through, I found that the BTL team to be engaging, to be client-focused, to be approachable, we immediately felt as though we were part of a bigger team. And again, because of our newness, that was really important to us. And this last one might sound really strange, but I really wanted a partner who wouldn't just say yes to everything that I asked for, who would ask me what I wanted and why I wanted it, and would work with me to try and find the best solutions. In my better moments, I do tend to think that I'm right all the time. Both my wife and Haley at the front know that that's not the case, and they tell me that on a regular basis. But I wanted to work with a partner who would also be happy to tell me that maybe I was wrong, and that there was maybe a better way to do things. And I have felt with BTL from the beginning that we had that relationship, that they would be happy to share with me what they thought was the right way, and to try and work out what it really was that I was trying to do. And I guess just in closing, I think it's really easy to be engaging and client-focused and approachable and warm and fuzzy when you're trying to sell someone something. For me, what was the real measure of a relationship is how people are once you've signed on the line and once you've parted with some money. All the way through the process, and we've been working together now for several months, I have continued to find the guys in Shipley engaging and client-focused and approachable, and we still feel we're part of that team, and we still feel as though we can work with them to give the service that we want, to make the student experience the best that we can make it. We will never be the biggest at what we do, we might never be the shiniest at what we do, but I really believe that we can be the best at what we do. And equally, I believe that the guys at BTL can help us to take that step and help to make us the best at what we do.